if you were telling somebody, hey, look, a victim of a wreck with a semi, and they were trying to figure out whether their lawyer was hiring the right type of reconstructionist, what kind of questions would you tell them to ask? How would they know? How would they ask questions on finding out whether their team, their lawyers, are hiring the right people?
I think one of the most important things about the reconstructionists involved, and we traditionally don't talk to the victims. We usually don't talk to those that are involved in the crashes because of how the legal system works with it. But you have to have experts that can communicate with you. You have to have experts that can explain things. As I used to say in kind of some previous talks and things I'd give, you can have somebody like Albert Einstein, somebody just incredibly smart. But if they cannot articulate that to the jury, then it's not going to be helpful. And so you need to have an expert that has the communication skills to be able to explain things to you as an attorney. Because if I can't explain something to you or your expert can't explain something to you, they certainly are not going to be able to pass those concepts on to the jury or the trier of fact. The other things that you have to look for with expertise is just in terms of credentials. Do they have the training to be able to do a lot of these things? Do they have the training, the heavy trucks, if you're doing it with heavy trucks? And how's their presence in the courtroom? Do they have a lot of cases under their belt where they've testified in and so forth? Or are they just getting started? Because usually the getting started type people are doing the car crashes. And then as you get more and more efficient and more effective, through your training and everything else, you work your way up to the truck crashes.
Well, again, I appreciate it. I agree with you. I think that it's important to have experts that are qualified and experienced and have the knowledge. Same way with attorneys. When we, I didn't start off doing semi cases. You over the years, you learn how to do it. You learn how to try cases, and you have to be able to prepare your cases, whether you're on the defense or the plaintiff, to go to trial. And you have to have experts who can go to trial and who can testify. I know that, it's one of the great things about your outfit, and you in particular, is that both sides have used you, not even at trial, sometimes at mediations, just to help educate the other side on what the evidence is. And I think that's very powerful. That says a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the other things that you have to make sure, just as anybody, whether they're lawyers or whether they're experts, is they have to know their limitations. And you can't have an expert such as me come into a situation and say, this is how this road should have been designed. I have no training in that. I have no expertise in that. I cannot come out there and say they should have built this road this way or something else. You want to make sure that your experts or your attorneys involved know their limitations and seek the proper expertise from others. So many times where I have questions in a case, I'll go to the trucking experts. I'll go to the civil engineers. I'll go to those other people, guys and gals in the industry, and get that information from them. It'll help educate me further, and then it'll keep me out of trouble. Because if we get involved as experts in cases that we really don't have that expertise, then we get in trouble. We basically get to where judges say, no, you can't talk about this. And it's a blemish on you. And the same thing for attorneys is you get over your head on some of these cases and you can get in trouble as well.
Yeah, and you see it where experts do overreach and they try to please the attorney by providing information. And I think that's more damaging than helpful. And in addition, I think sometimes people think that lawyers are trying to shape the outcome and shape the facts. And a good lawyer, their job is to win with whatever the facts are. We're not trying to change them. We just want to know them. And we don't want to be surprised by them down the road. And that's why you have to have good reconstructionists who are honest and straightforward, or straight shooters, who can tell you sometimes, hey, look, you just have a bad case. I would much rather find that out in the beginning than 2 years later.
And that's what a lot of reconstructionists in our industry don't understand, is you really want to know the good, bad, and the ugly, because you don't want to invest time and effort into a case, and then 2 years down the line, you find out, ooh, this is a bad fact pattern, or something else is involved. And so that's where really you have to have people that will just tell you what it is, the good, the bad, and the ugly, no matter whether you're working for the defense side, the plaintiff side, explain the case to you, and then you get to decide what you want to do with that information.